Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my Instagram at easy.claws. And today I'll be showing y'all how I did this bomb butterfly look. To begin, I take my implements out of my sanitation packaging, and then I start to push back your cuticles. When you're pushing back someone's cuticles, make sure you're not too rough because you can hurt them. In this video, it kind of looks rough, but that's only because it's sped up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip her nails, and then I'm going to file her nails to make sure the free edge isn't that rough. Always make sure to ask your client whether they want their nails clipped or not, because some clients like their nails to remain long underneath their nails, but it's their preference, so make sure you ask them. Now I am going to go in with my pointy bit. You can use any kind of cuticle bit you're comfortable with. I am more comfortable with the pointy bit that I use now. I used to have a nail bit that was more round at the top instead of pointy like this. But as I got more experience and more clients, I decided to switch over to the pointy bit because I feel like I wasn't going to, puncture them or anything. But it's always your preference. Now I'm going to go over her nails with a sanding bit. And so basically what you're doing with this is that you're only taking off the shiny layer. You're not going rough. It looks like I'm going fast, but I'm not. I'll show you in the next clip of how to properly sand their nails, because if you don't, you can either damage their nails and create an indent, or their nails will be very thin and weak after they take their nails off. They're supposed to soak their nails off, but you know how people are. They don't listen. Okay, so this is how you properly prep the nail. You see how I'm holding my drill parallel to the nail. It is not at an angle, so that way it's not indenting the nail. I'm holding it parallel. And my drill is at the lowest speed. I will be dropping an in-depth tutorial on this very soon, so that way I can get all the angles to make sure that I am helping you guys in the best way that I can. So right now, what I'm doing is I am applying the tips. When applying the tips, you want to, when you're sizing the tips, you want to see which size fits a nail, because it needs to fit from sidewall to sidewall. If the tip is too small and you have to push down on it, pick the bigger size and just clip the nails and just clip the tip so that way it fits the nail. Another tip when applying the nail tips is to make sure that you are holding your client's hand as straight as possible, or they're holding their hand as straight as possible, so that way when you're applying the tips, you're not applying them crooked. Some clients do have crooked fingers, so just ask them when you're applying the tips if they want you to put the nail tip on straight, or if they want you to apply the nail tip the way their finger is going. But just ask your client and see what they want. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip the nails to her desired length. When clipping the nails, sometimes people do cut the pinky shorter than the rest of the nails. Sometimes I do that. I did it last week one time, and I had to extend the nail. But that's okay, people mess up every now and then. And a way to prevent this is some people use a nail form to clip the nail. So they'll put the nail form up under the nail tip and clip it at, how a nail form has small, large, numbers like that. Some people use a nail form, and so that's another tip if you do make the pinky shorter than the rest of the fingers constantly. Now you want to check to make sure that both nail lengths on both hands match up. Next, I begin to file the nails into the desired shape. She wanted square, like a tapered square, so that's what I did for her. I use a 100 grit nail file because that's what works best for me. I did try 80 grit nail files, but I did not like them. They were way too rough, and I felt like when I was filing the nails with acrylic on there, I felt like I was putting in so much work, and it was messing up my thumb. It was messing up like the skin on my thumb. I was making it raw, and I did not like that. It hurt a lot, actually. Next, I'm going in with that same sanding bit, and now I'm blending in the nail tips. Blending in the nail tips creates a smoother application, so I suggest doing it. I find that it helps me create a smoother application. Next, I am going with her dehydrator and primer. The dehydrator helps to remove the oils off her nails, and the primer is to help prep her nails for the acrylic application. Now I'm just going in with my clear acrylic, and I apply the clear acrylic. The first bead, I apply it where the natural nail and the nail tip meets. So now I just begin to blend it down. Also make sure to wet your brush and constantly wipe it off during this whole process of you applying your beads. You'll see me go on the side of the nails right here, like I'm doing right now. And that just helps to mold the acrylic into the shape that you want. If you don't do that, you'll have so much filing to do after, and you basically just wasted your time pre-shaping the nails because now you have to go back and file a lot more. For this specific nail, I did the 4 bead method because I feel like I didn't pick up a big enough bead when I applied the second bead. So now I'm going back in with the third bead. That is where you're basically applying your apex. If you don't know what that is, I'll try to make a video on that very soon. And then now I'm going in with the cuticle bead. When I apply the cuticle bead, I make sure that my bead is not too wet, because if it is too wet, it will go on the skin. And how you saw me clean up the sidewalls, that's what you need to do constantly when you are applying your beads. The next nail that I did was this chunky glitter nail, and this nail is a bit thicker due to the fact that there is chunky glitter in there. But this is just loose glitter. I believe it's called sequin glitter or chunky sequence glitter. I pick up the glitter by getting a really wet bead and then putting that bead in the glitter, and then I pick up the glitter and spread it all over the nail. You'll see me go back with a smaller bead so that way I can make the nail more covered in the glitter. And that's what you just want to do if you apply thick glitter like this. I've also gotten way better at recording YouTube videos and not leaning my head forward. So you'll be seeing more videos from me soon. So make sure you comment below which type of videos you like to see. I think I might drop the how to prep the nail first because I feel like that's necessary. So yeah. Now I'm just encapsulating the nail. When encapsulating the nail, you're just applying another layer of acrylic on top of that to seal what you just did. You do this when you're encapsulating foils, different kinds of glitters, charms, stuff like that, unless they want raw glitter. And raw glitter is like glitter on top of the nail, and you'll be able to feel it, so it won't be smooth like this nail will be. Now I'm just applying a very thin layer of clear acrylic to her natural nail because I'm going in with the red and I don't want the red to stain her nails. You do this with colors that are very pigmented or you feel like will stain the nails. And so, you also do this if you're using colored acrylic and you do fill-ins often. I don't do fill-ins, but I do this so that way it doesn't stain her nails. Now I'm just applying the acrylic, and I put my first bead where the natural nail meets in the nail tip, and then I grab more monomer and then I just drag that bead down. I use the belly of my brush to drag that down. I also go back in with a smaller bead because I missed a spot, and sometimes that will happen, so just grab a smaller bead and fill in what you need to fill in. Your second bead will go right above that first bead and you'll just blend that down. Next, I will do the cuticle bead, and like I said before, make sure that bead is not too watery because if it is, it will flood the cuticle and you will get lifting. As y'all can see, I'm just patting to make sure I fully cover the entire cuticle, and I'm not pushing the bead all the way back. I'm also cleaning up the sidewalls. Make sure you do that if you feel like you flooded the cuticle or you just need to get a piece of acrylic off. This is just another angle of me applying the acrylic. The next step is to go back with your nail file, and like I said before, I'm using a 100 grit nail file, and I'm just going back and reinforcing that shape. When shaping square, you want to keep your nail file straight. You don't want to curve it because then you'll get taper square or you'll get coffin. So make sure you're just holding your nail file straight. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going back in with the sanding bit and I'm going around the cuticles. I do this for all of the fingers, and then I go in with the cone bit and I go around the cuticles again. I do this to seal around the cuticle so that way I don't get lifting. I also use the sanding band to go up under the nail. You see how I'm doing that right now? So that way it's not bumpy under the nail or anything like that. So that way it is smooth. When you're going under the nail with any kind of bit, you want to be careful because you don't want to overfile. So go in with a light hand and do not apply that much pressure to it. So now I am going in with that cone bit that I mentioned earlier. This bit is from Amazon. I got it in a pack. It came in with some other bits. I believe it came in with a safety bit that I am going to show in the next clip. And so, like I said before, I'm going around the cuticles again, and I'm just sealing off the cuticles. This bit that I'm using is called a safety bit. I use this bit and I recommend any beginners or people who do not fully feel comfortable with using a regular bit. The regular bit is just like a barrel bit. It doesn't have this cone shape at the top. I guess you could call it a cone shape. And it's way better so that way you don't cut your clients or anything like that. And so you see how I'm rubbing my thumb all over the nail? You want to do that so that way you can ensure that your nail is smooth. I also do this and I look at it from all the angles, and so you'll see me moving her finger around. Just make sure that you're smoothing it out and checking all the angles. And you just want to do this repeatedly for all the fingers. When drilling the nail, you want to make sure that you're constantly moving your hand. You don't want to keep your drill in the same place because you will burn your client. They'll be like, ow, it hurts. And, they'll pull their hand back. So make sure that you're constantly moving your bit. Make sure you're not leaving it in the same place, and make sure your drill is not very high. Like, if it is really high, you'll be able to feel it. Personally, what I do is I listen to it. If it sounds like it's too high, then it is too high, but you'll be able to tell. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that if your application is smoother, you'll have way less drilling to do. Like me, when I was beginning, I had a lot of drilling to do. I would take up so much time drilling and shaping, and now I don't take up that much time. So just practice applying acrylic, practice on a practice hand or on a client or anything like that, and that will help you speed up your time. Right now, I'm just making sure that the two middle fingers are even, because that is where I'm going to be doing the butterfly placement, and I would like them to be even so that way it doesn't look crooked or anything when she puts her hands, when she folds it like a fist, I guess you could say. And so that's what I was doing. I'm also going in with the alcohol pad to remove all that red around her fingers. And now I'm going in with Zule's Bling adhesive, and that adhesive is pretty good. I just don't like the fact that the top always gets stuck or always gets messed up. Some people recommend using cuticle oil to put the cuticle oil around the top of the glue, but I've tried that and it has not worked. But I'm gonna still keep buying her stuff because her stuff is good, so whatever. I'll just make it work, I guess. And so right there, I'm just applying the big bling. You can get that bling from Ocean's Nail Supply, Sky Beads, or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, whichever you prefer. I honestly forgot which one I got it from, but yeah. When using Zule's Bling adhesive, it also comes with a activator spray. The activator spray is basically a freeze spray. It dries the glue in place right then and there. When applying big beads like that and you're using her products, make sure you buy the freeze spray so that way you spray it right after you put the bling on there, so that way the bling does not move. Also, if you don't get that spray, 9 times out of 10, if you get the glue on the jewels, then the jewels will turn like a white and it won't look good. So make sure you buy the spray, and after you put a bling down, spray it. Okay, so I'll be back when I'm doing something else, because I feel like this is more self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna time-lapse it. Bye. Okay, so now I'm going back in with my Valentina Red to create my 3D nail art flower. I will make a dedicated dedicated tutorial on how to make 3D flowers or 3D snakes and things like that. So it will be way more zoomed in, and so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. And you also want to make sure you buy a 3D nail art brush. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them from Young Nails. I seen Young Nails has one. I got mine off of Amazon. Valentino has one, and just different brands have one. So whatever brand of nail brushes you like, you can see if that company has them. Okay guys, so now I'm done. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can also drop any videos you would like to see. I will be uploading way more often, and I will not take months like I did before. But make sure you also follow my Instagram at izzies.claws, and make sure you're active, and I'll be more active on YouTube again. But look at these nails, they're so bomb. I did that. Anyways, bye.